one thing that helped me at the end of my 20s was I have this friend, and his name is Ishem, and he used to work at a big technical company, big corporate in IT. And he had a colleague there that he really looked up to, who was very talented, a couple of years older, and who talked about his super high ambitions. And then he had his really high ambitions as well, and was like copying that friend or that colleague that he looked up to. And then he once talked to a coach. He expressed the same types of ambition, and the person was sitting across him was sort of laughing and saying, like, are you sure? Because it seems as if you don't really know yourself. And then 2 weeks later, the colleague that he looked up to so much committed suicide. The foundation of that, on which his belief of what the world was and what life was about and who he was, got shaken up like an earthquake. And then he did a long period of searching, and also like the quarter life crisis, as you describe it. And he came to the realization that we tend to look at careers as linear careers. So you start somewhere, and then it linearly develops in that same field, and then you do it for 40 years, and then you quit and retire. And he came up with something that he calls the episodical career. I don't know if he thought of it himself, but I really like it, so I copied it and attributed it to him, where he said, if you think about the fact that you have about 40 to 50 years to work, then what you can do is actually look at all the things you want to do in your life and cut it up in pieces and have an episodical career instead of a linear career. So for example, if you take my example, I love to write. I think teaching is really cool. I might want to teach at some point in my life. I really like the corporate world. I'm now in politics. I would love to at some point build a company myself. So if you look at those elements, and you say, let's say there's 5 of them, there's a 40-year career, then I have 8 years for all. And if I want to do one part longer, then I know it will eat up on the other part. And looking at it from that way really helped me, because it made me realize that I was in my 20s trying to put everything at once in my career. So it had to be fulfilling, it had to have a nice work-life balance, it had to be a place where my talents thrived, but also where I learned a lot and where I was challenged, and my colleagues had to be super fun. And I also have an ego, so I was also hoping that other people would think it was cool what I was doing, like, and all those things together in one job. It's like so much that you demand of it, that maybe just the thought of being able to spread that out over 40 years can be comforting.